everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This feels so weird talking to a camera again because you guys won't have clocked because I've scheduled my uploads pretty well, but I actually haven't filmed in over a week and a half. I went home for reading week, had a lovely time with my family, but I had to come back on a Thursday. Usually I would go back on a Saturday and kind of use my Sunday to go and get food and things like that, but I had to come back on a Thursday this time because I have been selected to be a student co-researcher on one of my university researchers projects. I found out that I'd been selected for this about 3 weeks ago and I was so unbelievably happy. My last year at uni was a very rocky road. One day I will spill all the tea about that, but this feels really like a second chance, like a big second chance for me. And I had to complete a written word, personal statement type thing as to why I should be appointed for the project and what the project means for me. I'm not going to go into what the project is about because I don't really know how much I'm allowed to say, but I did actually ask if I could film my experience whilst keeping the details of the study out of the videos, and my researcher said yes, so I'm good to go. I'm not going to get in trouble for filming this. So I should probably get on to the reason why I'm here on a Thursday. It is because the first meeting is tomorrow. We have a 3-hour meeting, which is going to be very weird because the uni is going to be basically empty, but I'm really excited, also quite nervous. But I have work to do tonight. We've been given kind of a briefing sheet to go through, and we need to answer a couple of questions, and we need to bring in an artifact on what the study subject means to us. See, I'm being very careful not to talk about what it is. And I have bought myself a lovely new file from Muji. It's B5 and I've got some paper for it as well. So I'm going to use this for quite a lot of the work, but I'm also going to take my laptop because I'm unsure on how they would prefer us to catalogue everything we're doing. So I thought I'd cover both grounds and make sure that I'm not caught short. So let's get on and do some preliminary work. Also, just checking in to say I completely forgot to mention that I got a haircut. I'm so happy with it. Makes me feel really mask. Bit of gender euphoria. I'm very grateful that my auntie is a barber because I get the good haircut every single time. But the mop is gone. But don't worry, my hair grows very quickly. The mop will be back in due course. Okay, little time check. It is 8 PM and I have just finished my prelim notes, I guess, for tomorrow's meeting. I can't really show you what they are, which is really annoying. I'll show you the title. There you go, Prep for Intro Workshop. And do you know what? Let me flip this around. So I've done all the pre-work for the meeting now, and I need to put together my outfit for tomorrow and then tidy up because I literally got home and went straight to work. So I haven't unpacked yet, and I probably should. So I'm gonna unpack and then, you know what? I'll show you guys what I'm wearing tomorrow because I'm pretty happy. So here is my super boring outfit for tomorrow. The dress code is like kind of fancy-ish, kind of like business cash, I guess. And I literally owned nothing smart at all, despite my quite aesthetic study blur and all of this. My fashion is very much East London roadman. So I had to go out and buy these plaid trousers. They were like £15 from Primark. Thank you to my mother for getting me these. But I'm actually looking forward to wearing this tomorrow. I don't get the opportunity to wear stuff like this very often, so I'm looking forward to it. And the neutral colour scheme, I'm a big fan. Not a big fan of the collar doing this. I might have to steal someone's iron. I don't know how I'm going to manage that. We'll find a way. I always do. Good morning, everyone. I am dressed and ready to go. very much feeling this. The tubes are running, thank God, because yesterday it took me 4.5 hours to get from my hometown to here when it should take me an hour and a half. So thank God the tubes are running. I'm gonna leave a little bit earlier to accommodate for delays because it's not running perfectly. But yeah, I feel like a businessman and I'm not mad at it in the slightest. I'm so nervous, guys. I'm so nervous. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll keep composed. Let's get going. Made it. My new trainers are here. I'm so happy. Hello. Lift dance. I don't know what I'm doing. I've had such a crazy day. I'll tell you when I get into my flat. Floor 3, here we go. Okay, let's talk about my first day as a student co-researcher. First of all, I want to give huge props to my university's academics that I'm working with for their welcoming nature and their hospitality, and the fact that they provided lunch for everybody as well. They didn't have to do that, they just wanted to, and I thought that was really, really sweet. So yeah, shout out to my university academics team, you're all incredible. Obviously, I've said before in this video, I can't go into any detail really about what we are researching, which kind of makes this video difficult, but I'm going to try my best to keep it vague, but at the same time informative. So I think I mentioned in this video that I had to go through a little bit of an application process to get onto this team, and I'm only one meeting in, and I can already say, if you are a university student and you are sent an email about a potential opportunity to be a co-researcher, apply. You'll only get contacted about things surrounding your field, so it'll probably be something you are knowledgeable on or something you may have a potential interest in. And if you do have that, even the tiniest bit of interest in the project, sign up. There's nothing to lose. Either you miss that opportunity that time and then can apply for something else, or you're gonna get in and have a brilliant time. So we started off the meeting with a little bit of an introduction, and the questions we were asked, which I can actually talk about, were, what are your favourite foods and why, and what are your favourite films and why? We then went on to talk about why those questions in particular were asked, and not to toot my own horn, but I smashed it with my answer, as I was told by the lead researcher. And then we got into kind of the preliminary research around the project, so what we were basing our research off, and we've been given copies of everything we need to read surrounding that. We then spoke about a rough idea of how we're going to be conducting our research and deadlines for the project. I'm very lucky in the fact that this project is not due until semester 3, so the main body of this research will take place in semester 3. And I don't know what that's like for every other university, but in my university, you finish semester 2, and that's your learning semester over. And obviously semester 1, I'm not saying that we only have one semester of learning, but the first 2 semesters are dedicated to your learning, and then at the end of semester 2, just before semester 3, you sit your exams. Semester 3, I think, is primarily occupied by the Masters and PhD students. I'm not 100% sure, but semester 3 for undergrads, we have completely free. We just kind of get a very, very long summer break while cripplingly waiting for our exam results. It's not a fun holiday, let me tell you. But it seems like this time I'm actually going to have something to look forward to, something proactive to be doing, because that's when the majority of the meetings and the data collection will be taking place. We also participated in something called The Round. I don't know if this is common practice in other institutions, but I've never heard of it before. We were all sat in a circle on spinny chairs with like desks attached to it so that we could put our laptops and our notebooks down. and we were all facing each other, and you would go around each person in turn and they were given 5 minutes to speak on the question provided by the lead researcher. You could spend 3 minutes of that thinking, 2 minutes talking, however you want to use that 5 minutes, that's how you're allowed. That's what you're allowed. And I think the really nice thing about it is that during that 5 minutes, nobody else is allowed to speak. Nobody's allowed to interject, cut you off, interrupt. It's your 5 minutes. That 5 minutes is all yours. And I personally, when I got there and was told what we were doing, I was like, okay, interesting. I'm not sure how this is going to work. But actually, I found that I was paying more conscious attention to what the other people in the room were saying. Because if I did have something I wanted to maybe go off of from what they were saying, or even potentially a disagreement towards their view, you really had to listen to everything they said to properly formulate what you yourself then wanted to say. I found it was a really conscious exercise, and learning is all about being conscious and present. And as someone who loves mindfulness and does yoga and meditation every single day, I really, really loved it. And I think I'm actually going to start using it independent of the research project. I'm going to start using it in group work and things like that, because I think it's a really, really strong practice that should be implemented. So if you're doing group work, consider doing rounds. It's really, really helpful. And then after the meeting was over, as I say, can't really discuss what was going on in full detail, but afterwards we went up to the 6th floor of our building, which is where the psychology department is housed, and they have this massive room with a big conference table in the middle and all of the academics' offices on the outside. It's a really cool building. I will try and insert either a video or a photo somewhere of the building, of the room, because it looks really, really cool. We had lunch, as I said, all paid for and provided by the university, which again, they just didn't have to do, but it was just a really nice extra touch. And I actually got to sit down with one of the academics who's part of the research team, who I'd never met before. And he thinks that I have the potential to become a university academic who is kind of part researcher, part academic liaison, supervisor, lecturer, whatever I really wanted to do. You watching this video right now probably think, Lewis, you're really not that eloquent. There's no way you could be a lecturer. But I find talking to a camera quite difficult for me to wrap my head around. I find I stumble over my words, my points are all over the place. I struggle with this, so apologies if you can tell. But in that meeting, he was saying that I had such a natural way with my words and eloquency and a natural intelligence for what we were embarking on in this research. And he said that he'd not really seen many people with that ability, which was really surprising for me to hear. I've never had anyone discuss my abilities in such a happy way and a positive way before. I've always been told that I'm intelligent, but I've also had many howevers added onto that. But this academic was just like, you have a natural knack for this. You could do this. You could graduate, go on your training course and do this. You can be a researcher, which is what I want to do, but also have the enjoyment and fulfillment of teaching others what you were so excited to learn yourself. And I had never really considered that as a career path for myself. I have only done public speaking once, and that was in January of this year when I made a speech at a trans rights protest outside of the BBC headquarters, and that was very daunting in itself. And I just thought that, oh, if it's taken me until 20 years old to speak in front of a crowd for the first time, I could never do a job where you have to speak at loads of people all day, every day. But now I'm sitting here and I'm like, maybe maybe I could do that. Maybe that is my path. So I'm definitely going to have a think about it. It's definitely not me making any solid career plans right now, but having someone open my perspective to something like that was just really inspiring and motivating, and I'm really, really grateful that he gave me that opportunity. He also discussed my transness, which I wasn't necessarily prepared for. I am someone who's very open about my transness. I don't attempt to hide it. I am not ashamed or embarrassed by it. I am a trans man in science. Done. I am a trans gay man in science. And that in itself is an act of resistance. And I'm very, very proud of what I've achieved, even as an undergrad in their first year. But he was saying to me that my path is going to be harder. Being a trans person in science is inherently more difficult. And that is orchestrated quite blatantly in the lack of trans people in science. But he just looked at me with the most sincere look on his face and just said, your name's gonna be on papers. Your name's gonna be out there. And no one's gonna call you the trans man in neuroscience. You're just gonna be a man in neuroscience. And I think I really needed to hear that, honestly. I've been having a lot of internal issues. I say issues, just some self-doubt about my place in the scientific field. And this has made me feel so much better. And yeah, I've said it a million times already, but I'm so incredibly grateful that he took time out of his kind of mingling session to specifically come and talk to me for about 20 minutes. It was quite a long conversation. Enough of the deep stuff. That was the end of our kind of meeting for the day. I then came home. I'm now working on some biological psychology research. If you have not seen my last video about how I read my research papers, you should check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. So that was it. My first day on the job as a student co-researcher at university. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry I cannot talk about the ins and outs of this study and kind of film specifically what we're doing. I really wanted to film in the meeting room and obviously mute everything, but unfortunately I was not allowed to. So I did try for you guys, I did try. Enough of that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below. If you have already finished university or are currently at university, have you participated in any co-researching? And if you have, please let me know about your experiences. I'm so interested to know and learn from you guys. But yeah, I will see you next Sunday with another video. Bye guys.